Hey everybody, this is Pastor Martin, and I just wanted to pop in real quick on this Sunday evening, just to encourage someone that may be watching this, someone that may tune in and look at it, just some real short, just to share with you what happened today. You know, there are many times God confirms His word to others, but He also confirms His word to us as ministers of the gospel, as those that share with the people. And earlier this week, I was out taking care of some business, took my grandkids with me. And while we were out uh, just doing some things, it was so amazing that while I was in the car, the Lord sort of dropped something in my spirit. And He talked to me and said something to me about interrupted dreams. And I made a voice memo of it, and my granddaughter Madison said, "Pastor, Papa, who you talking to?" I said, "I'm just making a note of something." And I wasn't sure when the Lord wanted me to share this message, but this week He just wouldn't let it get out of my spirit. And so on yesterday, Saturday, I was, like wrestling with this. Lord, do I want to just sort of share something else or whatever? And the Lord just wouldn't let this word get out of my spirit. And I thought maybe He would let me share it at another time. And so about 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning, I got to my computer and just start pulling some scriptures up. And I said, Lord, I'll deal with this maybe another time. But He kept saying this word, interrupted dreams. And so today I shared that message, interrupted dreams. And at the end of service, there was a group that came in, a family, and also another a young man came in. So at the end of service, I had them to share with us who they were. And one of them was a pastor. Matter of fact, his name was Harold. And he had moved here. He used to pastor in Canada. The Lord had him move from Canada to Georgia. And he said, I've been here and I was trying to figure out. He said, I know I heard from God. I know it's what God told me. And I was trying to see what and how God was going to give me some type of answer or whatever. He said, and as you begin to minister today, God began to remind me of my dream. He began to remind me of the things He told me. And he said, I began to even look at the things that had interrupted my dreams. And so that was confirmation. At the end of service, the husband of the family that came, he stood and he was talking about finding the church. He said, I just said to myself, there can't be a church in here because this is in the midst of houses and a neighborhood. And he said, there you were, a church. And he said, I told God, I need to hear a word from you. And after end of service, he was talking to me and he said, 2 weeks ago, I said to my wife, I lost my dream. Looked like I need to go back and get my dream. I can't get it back. Well, the message today, in the midst of the message, God said to go back and get your dream. God says no more interruptions in your dreams. And He began to say that God sent me here today just to hear this word. I didn't know why the Lord had us to find your church. He said, but I had to get here today. And I thought I wasn't going to make it, but I made it. And that word was just for me. I want you to know that sometimes God will encourage people. He confirms to them what He's saying, but then He'll send them to you to confirm that you are preaching and sharing the right word. That was a word He put in my spirit, and I've done that before where I've just wrestled with it. Lord, when do you want me? But today, because of obeying God, someone got a word from God and got their word that they needed concerning interrupted dreams. So I want to encourage you, whenever God gives you a word, whenever God speaks to you and you know it is the voice of God, don't be afraid to share what God has shared with you. Don't be afraid to tell people what God has said, because you never know. It could be confirmation. And most of the time it is confirmation to what God has already told them, to what God has already said. And so then He'll turn around and confirm to us that you spoke the right word. What an encouragement. And I just thought I wanted to share that with somebody. What an encouragement when you know that you heard from God, even though sometimes you may be struggling with it. If you're going and obeying, you never know whose life you may be ministering to or saving. So I want you to, whatever you do, when you know you've heard from God, don't be afraid to speak that word. That's all I had to say. The Lord bless you. I pray that you are encouraged, and I pray that you would do the will of God, because someone is waiting to hear the word that God has given to you. May God bless you, and may all God's choice blessings be yours.